So we need to unplug everything, apparently.
It's like when my fridge in the middle of the night just goes, you know, and then you're like, I think it's more of that. Things are falling apart.
That was the ice machine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's
fine.
We have the pools of water later over there. So we're in Prattsburgh at Black Sheep Distillery. When did you guys open anyway?
So we started the company in August of 21 and opened the tasting room just this past October.
Awesome. That's
awesome. So not even a year yet.
No. Yeah. It's been pretty good. It's been very steady. Yeah. Even with the weather up and downs. It's hard to pick and make any decisions on, help because you just never know. And a sunny day, nobody shows up.
Right.
And a rainy day, we're packed. So
yeah. No consistency there, right? Yeah.
Well, you said you have a lot of locals, right, that just come here and hang out. It's kind of become a hangout place for a lot of people. You've made a lot of friends.
It has. You can see the wall over there with our club members.
Mules, right?
Mug Club. All those most of those are all locals. And they're pretty regular. They've supported us pretty well. So we're happy about that.
Yeah.
So now, are you the black sheep of your family?
No, that would be Kim.
Oh, okay.
Kim and Craig have something in common.
Yeah.
Do we want to go into that?
We get along, yeah. No, we don't need to get into the black sheep comment. No.
Well, how about for the name, though, of the distillery?
So, well, believe it or not, when you're, of all the things that you're thinking of while you're trying to put something like this together, coming up with a name is one of the more difficult things.
Yeah.
Because whatever you choose, you're going to have to live with.
That's true.
And we tried a couple of different things. Nothing really clicked. And then I just kind of threw it out there one day at Kim, and she loved it. Of course, her mother hates
relate.
it. Yeah, her mother hates it, but
yeah,
she loved it. We went for it and looked around and couldn't believe that there really wasn't. There is one in England.
Okay,
but I guess we're not going to ship
not
to
competition.
England. Yeah. So it just was easy enough, and we came up with. I didn't want it to be that that typical black sheep thing where that's the bad one or something like that, because I felt that she was the opposite of that.
Yep.
So, but when it came to kind of building a distillery around it, I didn't want the fluffy sheep that everybody thinks of. So that's why we went with the skull and the ram, which is a bighorn sheep.
Yeah.
So there's some play and some leeway with the term, but
it's not always bad being the black sheep.
No,
could be a good thing.
That could be, Craig. As we were talking about Kim, yes. No, I'm just kidding. Well, no, but I mean, the point being that it's the sheep that stands out, right? And,
right.
And it could be whatever way. But we, as people who've been here before, this place stands out just as soon as you walk in. I mean,
just the atmosphere.
Yeah, it's amazing. Just
we got a bazooka on the wall. It's like my favorite thing here. The bazooka.
It's a good conversation starter.
That's right. And no, you cannot play with it.
Darn.
Well, let's talk about that. So, I mean, that has a little bit to do with your past and how is the decoration of a bazooka, part of the part of the property?
Well, I was in the military in the early 90s. And somehow that made it back. They can only be fired once, so it's been fired. Usually they're just
safe. You can play with it?
Yeah. No, you can play with it.
What I got to deal with.
So somehow that made it back, and it's been, in a basement wall for forever.
Yeah.
And once we moved here full time, we don't have a basement anymore, so this is kind of like a glorified man cave.
Yeah.
And it made its way out here. But yeah, I think everybody that walks in the door notices it before they notice anything else.
Yeah.
So
the artifacts are everywhere too. I mean, you got them on the tables. There's just so many military artifacts in here. The colors, the exposed wood, like it's just a really cool vibe and fun place to be.
Yeah, the word vibe is something that we hear a lot.
Yeah,
a lot of people say that. And we did spend a lot of time going, when we were doing research and development, we'll call it.
Mm-hmm.
We went to a lot of different distilleries, kind of picked out little things we liked, little things we didn't like, And when it was all said and done, I mean, I wanted to build something that was exactly what I would want to go sit at. You don't have to be a drinker. You can come in for one drink. We got non-alcoholic drinks, but just some place to come and hang out. And a lot of people come in here and they're like, no, we're just going to have one. And then 4 hours later, they're still here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's been interesting and exciting for us that people want to hang around that long.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, it does have that vibe that just kind of like go and chill and hang out.
Play a riveting game of Jenga.
I know that our first visit here, when around the time you guys first opened, I think when we came in, we were very impressed. We didn't want to leave. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. We were just here to take some photos and things like that, and then it was like, oh,
Place cool.
Yeah, and all this stuff, under the tables and on the walls, it's all stuff that was mine or I had collected. A lot of the pictures are ones that I've taken, and some of the memorabilia on the wall, most of it's mine, but there's like the helmet back there, that's my grandfather's. But other than that, it's all stuff that I've collected, and I think people appreciate seeing it firsthand when they
reflection
when they walk in.
of you.
And your heritage.
How long were you in the service?
Just 4 years.
Just 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
4 long years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, that has an appeal too, the being a veteran-owned business, and the fact that you're honoring that aspect of not just your past, but the country's past. So I think that's something a lot of people can relate to and or appreciate. Yeah, for sure.
And when we started building this, it was all my design. I designed it. I laid it out. Probably obsessed on it for way longer than I should have. But everything in here is either stuff that we've collected from the property that we purchased here, old barnwood or other local farms, like in Geneseo, old pallets. Everything's repurposed for the most part.
Yeah.
And they got the big barn doors that open up, and it's very nice breeze coming in right now.
Oh yeah.
Enjoyable.
It just looks like the kind of place. I mean, we have the whole rest of the day to work, but I mean, I could just say hanging out over there by the fire pit.
We could just take a half day.
Oh wait! Don't we have research to do?
We'll make it up later.
We might have to do research, right?
Yeah. Kevin would be like, "Where'd you guys go? Why'd you come back? We were busy, working hard.
It was a long podcast.
So how did we get here? And I don't mean to Prattsburgh, but I mean, how did you get here?
So I had been coming to this area literally a mile and a half away since I was 10 years old. We had family friends that have some hunting property, so we would come down and ride 3-wheelers at the time. There was a lot of dirt roads too, so it was just a coincidence that we ended up purchasing this property so close, because as me and Kim started looking for our own property, we kept coming back to Keuka Lake. We went other places too, but we really liked it here. And we kept coming back to the same place. And the story behind this is pretty funny, because we had gone to a winery, which was Heron Hill at the time. It was still Heron Hill, but and we had a server that was great. He was a veteran. He knew I was a veteran. He was throwing stuff at us. He was like, here, have this, try that. And we had a really good time. But we had only come like maybe once or twice a year. And then the following year we came back, but we were actually looking harder for property. And we went there again because we had a good time. And same guy was working behind the tasting table. And he remembered us and asked what we were doing here. And we said, well, we're here looking for property. And he's like, well, you're looking for land or lake? I said, well, I'm looking for land. If I can see the lake, I probably can't afford it. And he just happened to be thinking about selling at the time.
Oh, wow.
So never went on the market. We came over here, sat on his front porch, and bought the place from him. So and apparently
serendipity, right?
Yeah, he had that conversation with several people, but nobody ever showed up. We did.
Wow.
So
nice.
That's how we ended up with this property. And that was maybe 7 or 8 years ago. Never intended on doing any of this. It was really just a getaway, place to go hunt, place to, it's like a second home. And, of course, you guys know what happened around 2020, 2021.
Right.
Everything changed, including your what's going on in your head.
Yeah, for sure.
And we just kind of decided that we were done sending other people's kids to college. Mm-hmm. And our kids were grown. We were already paying for them to go to school. And we said, you know what? We were living in Grand Island at the time, which is up near Buffalo. You know, paying for this big house and nice property, and all I'm doing is taking care of it.
Yeah.
That's all I did was take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
And pay a huge exorbitant amount in property taxes, and for what? You know, we just lived there and worked there. It didn't make sense. And that's when we decided to do the distillery. There were other things that we thought about. Of course, they were all related to what's around this lake, wineries and breweries and stuff like that. But this was more my speed. And that's when we just decided we're going to do it. We sold our house pretty much that week and
just go for it.
Yeah.
Moved here full time eventually. I was still going back and forth between Buffalo and here for about 2 years, trying to balance both things, get this built, still have a paycheck.
Right.
But at some point, which was last year around October, we just decided that enough was enough.
Yeah.
And instead of working 100 hours a week going back and forth, I just work 100 hours a week here.
Right. So you don't have to go back and forth.
Nice trade-off.
Just here.
Are you a self-made distiller, or do you have any formal training in that, or how did you learn how to distill?
It's mostly self-made. There's very little formal training. I did go to Kentucky for a week long. It was like a 5 or 6 day course where they take a shovel and just throw everything at you. I mean, they throw 15 years of experience down your throat and hopefully you remember
am I supposed
something.
to remember all this?
Yeah.
So, but I had been tooling around with it a little bit for about a year before I went there, which is good because at least when you're sitting there, some of the things they're saying make sense.
Right.
Rather than it all be perfect, brand new to you. So it was helpful to know a little bit. And I picked a lot of things up there that I've been able to use. But other than that, it's 90% just going around talking to other distillers, which had always been, for the most part, they're more than happy to show you anything and everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That was a change for me because I came from the construction industry, which is pretty cutthroat.
Yeah. Competition, right?
Yeah. So I don't think I'm friends with all the other distillers around here. We're not competing with each other. You know, if I need something, somebody probably has something I can borrow and vice versa. I've had people give me barrels, just to help you get rolling, that we've filled with some other stuff that we're just about ready to release here in the next couple of weeks.
We hear that same story. I mean, the collaborative vibe and the sense of community from some of the wineries and breweries as well, that, even though they're all trying to do their own thing and bring people there, they're very supportive of each other and willing to actually help with ingredients and help with ideas and knowledge and also equipment sometimes. And I don't think in most industries you get that, so I think that's a very rare quality it comes through when you come to a place like this too, though. I mean, you've just got that sense of everybody belongs and everybody's helping everybody. And
yeah, I mean, that was a big change for me. It's not something I was used to, but I was happy that, and then there was other places that, I just asked a question and like, yeah, come on in. And I spent 2 days with them.
That's awesome.
Just any question I asked, they answered. And, and the whole thing is my thing is that other than my mother, nobody's driving 2 hours to come to this distillery, but they're going to drive 2 hours to come to these distilleries or these wineries or something like that. And then if they enjoy themselves, obviously you're only going to go to a couple of them, but you're going to come back in 6 months or 12 months.
Because there's a variety more to check out.
Well, and if you can go to a place like Keuka Lake or whatever, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but and then you have a place like this where you can come and spend an afternoon with some friends and just hang out and have a great time. It adds, to the level of the experience. I think that it's kind of hard to plan for that. It's one of those things that it's like when you come here and you experience it, you're like, wow, that was like the perfect way to end the day or the perfect way to do that. What were you?
Do you think you could have ever imagined, having just left the service, that this is where you would have ended up?
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No. I mean, this wasn't. I had looked into this probably, I would say, 15 years ago, but at the time. And maybe the farm licenses existed then. I'm not sure when they started, but at the time when I looked at it, either I didn't know where to look or it was so cost prohibitive that it was just unrealistic. But the farm licenses have made it possible to make a smaller investment and get things kind of started rather than to have to write a $50,000 check for, I mean, the amount of alcohol you have to produce to justify that is absurd. But the New York State, for all their faults, has been pretty good, I think, to all the, the wine, the beer, and the distilleries.
But it sounds like the interest has been there for a long time leading up to it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a sexy thing. That's why I like the, the bottles and and all that. And I'm not interested in producing, standing back there filling bottles 100 hours a week. It's just, and then selling them to wholesalers who mark them up to 3 times before somebody can buy them. Kind of just wanted to do our thing. We had spent 25 years, coaching the baseball, the hockey, and basically just working for everybody else, that we got to a point where we just kind of want to do our thing, make enough money to pay our taxes and keep the place nice. And
we have guests.
Ooh, people driving up the gravel road.
I love it.
Oh,
we're getting
that's
Foley.
That's the black sheep coming.
Yeah.
We're getting Foley right now.
Which mic are we giving her?
She can take mine. She can take mine. I can start taking photos.
There you go.
So being a farm distillery though, there's some advantages to that, as you mentioned. Some opportunities, I guess, but there's also requirements and stuff like that. How do you feel about being a farm distillery as far as the opportunity to share other people's stuff here as well?
I think it's great. I mean, it's not even a question for us when, if somebody comes in here and they see that top shelf up there and they're like, oh, I want that. I'm like, I can't serve that to you. This is
private collection.
It's a private collection. And this is the Black Sheep.
Hello.
Hi, Black Sheep.
You can come here. Take my mic. You can get in here.
You can be on the show.
But you were saying, so the top shelf is your kind of private collection of stuff.
Yeah, just stuff we've collected, even through our quote unquote research. Heading to Kentucky and just trying to check out how other places operate. We realized how small that we are, and we're fine with that. We're not going to try to compete with.
Well, you're staying true to yourselves.
Yeah,
doing what you want,
and you're creating something again that's here that people can come here and experience, and it's not just mass produced,
No, and everything that we create here is 100%. I mean, it doesn't exist anywhere else in the universe. Yeah. So we're using, local farms for corn, wheat, rye, and barley. The botanicals that we're using in some of the gins we're growing right here out front. We've got an orchard planted, which is in its 3rd and 4th year. So hopefully next year we'll start seeing some sort of production. We're getting a little bit of fruit, but nothing that I can use.
I was going to say, actually, I was going to ask about the trees. What fruits are they, and what are you thinking?
So we have, I don't know what I'm thinking. First of all, I like,
we get that a lot.
Yeah. I like apples. I like apples and cherries, so that's what I started with, because there's nothing else I can eat them. But we also planted some plums and peaches. So we're up to about 70 trees. I'd like to double that. The problem is, there's only so much of me to go around, and
you don't have another 100 hours on top of the first 100 hours.
No, there's they require some babysitting and pruning and watching out for the beetles that will destroy them. So at some point, hopefully, we'll get there.
Can you talk a little bit about your products? Because I see, I saw on the counter, there's one that says saffron gin or something like that. That's an unusual combination.
Yeah. So right now we have 3 products that are labeled and available for sale. Right now I'm waiting on one more label. Once I have that other label approved from the federal government, then we're going to send those to the printer, and then we'll actually have 8 different spirits. So we have the vodka, a citrus gin, a lavender gin. The lavender gin just was the only spirit that we have that I put in a spirit competition. And we just got a 93-point silver medal for it at the New York State Spirit competition.
Congratulations. Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah, it's not double gold, but we'll get there with something at some
Hey,
point.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
But the saffron will be our third gin, and that will be available in July. So we've taken a couple of the gins and barrel aged them. Like I said, some people gave us barrels to use. So we'll have a couple of those barrel aged gins, and then the bourbon that we have been resting in a barrel from Heron Hill. So we'll have quite a variety, limited quantities, but like I said,
so come and get it before it's gone.
That's right.
Yeah.
Craig's making a list out right now because
Yeah.
I can tell. And you have, Kim's here. When we were here before, you make some really cool cocktails too. I mean, that's part of coming here is getting to experience those spirits that you make. That, as you said, there's no place else that have them. And then put them in an interesting cocktail that you can actually maybe make at home sometime. Yeah.
So, quite honestly, when we started this, I don't think the word cocktail ever came in anywhere. We never thought we were going to be making cocktails. But with a lot of locals coming here, they want to hang out. They've tasted the spirits, and it was okay. Now what?
Yeah. Can't just sit around doing shots all day.
I beg to differ. No, I'm just kidding.
So we started with a couple of cocktails, and they were not good. We were not good at it. Neither one of us have any experience making cocktails. But it was one of those things that I knew we had better figure out. And then one day I was messing with some of the basil that we have out here, and I came up with a basil drink, and I was excited about it. I was even more excited that I was able to make it twice.
The true test.
Yeah. Without having to look at my notes. And then it kind of went from there. We started making just, looking up recipes. I have a couple, cocktail books. And not that we really liked them, off the recipes that we made, but we were able to change them a little bit, add a little bit more of this, a little bit less of that, and got them to a point that we really liked them, and we thought people would enjoy them.
Gives you a starting point, anyways, to know what liquors are in it, or how to
especially when you don't know anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
Now we've grown to, I don't know how many cocktails we got in there, probably about 20, and we're always coming up with things to add, and usually we just make it like a monthly special or something like that. And people come in here, they see them on Instagram or Facebook, and they want to try it. And
they're quite tasty. Just saying.
So when people come in and they look at the menu, and the first thing that they say is, what's the most popular? And that's a tough question for us, because it's not about what's popular, it's about what you like. So then the trick is, not really a trick, but what's your favorite spirit? And start with that. But the point I'm getting at is, every drink on there is on there for a reason. If we didn't like it or customers didn't like it, it wouldn't be on the menu. When he was saying his basil smash, that he's very proud of it. One of my proud ones is the espresso martini. I'll tell you, when we first opened, he was against it because he hates the smell of coffee. But within a week, the amount of people who were asking us for an espresso martini was
a pretty popular flavor.
Yeah. So we ordered a espresso maker. So we make fresh espresso every morning. I like it to cool down, but I've had a few variations of that as we went along, because as I got customer feedback, a customer said, "You're in my top 2." Like, okay, well, what do I need to do to get to number 1? I don't want to be 2. I want to be number 1. And she said more espresso flavor. So what I started doing is making the espresso, cooling it down, putting it in the fridge. So when it's going into your cocktail, it's not hot and getting watered down by the ice. And I'm very proud of that drink. People come in, they love the presentation is one thing with an espresso martini. You don't just want to be handed a coffee drink. And the flavor and the taste, we get a lot of good feedback on that. So that's my proud baby, is the espresso martini that he did not want on the menu.
I've never had it.
Haven't even sipped it to try it.
He's gotten over the coffee
He
smell.
trusts you on that, and the best part though is other people are really enjoying it, and that's the part you really you
He'll
listen
to the visitors, but no way to hell he's trying it.
I mean, once one is made, they're all made. Right. Like, everybody's like, "What is that?" Was that kind of like his smoked old fashioned? Once he gets going on that, everybody's ordering one.
That's the one where he brands the ice, right?
Yep.
That's so cool.
Yep. And smokes the glass.
That's a nice touch.
Yeah. So that one we smoke with a piece of white oak, which is the same thing the barrels are made out of. And then instead of using a simple syrup, we're using...
Hold on one second. Are you trying to lower
We
it?
help her lower that a little for you.
Okay, there, perfect. Okay, got it.
So with the smoked old fashioned, we use a piece of white oak that we smoke the glass with, which is the same thing the barrels are made out of. But instead of using simple syrup, we're using maple syrup that's made right from the trees right up behind us. I don't make it, but my neighbor does. So and it's all old school buckets with taps in the trees, and so that's neat that most of the drink comes from right here.
Yeah, literally a taste of the place, right?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. What's your favorite part of doing this whole thing? I don't mean the podcast because obviously this is awesome,
Yeah,
but I mean
this is number one on your list.
I would say my favorite part is when people come in here and they're so excited about, like you said, the vibe. That to me is rewarding because that's what I was going for. I mean, like I said, I basically built the ultimate man cave here. But when people come in and they really like the vibe and they hang out for 3 or 4 hours, even though they're only here for one, they wanted to, just,
Pop
check
in
me
and
out. Yeah. Cash me out now. We're just here for one. And then 3 hours later, they're still here. That's exciting for me. But even though I'm not a huge gin fan, I would say making the gin is my favorite part because there's no rules really. There's a couple rules, but after you've satisfied the juniper requirement, you can pretty much do whatever you want. And what we're doing here is, like I said, we have a floral gin, a citrus gin, and now with the saffron, we'll have a spice forward type gin. And basically doing whatever little mad scientist thing I want to do back there with the botanicals, fail again, and then finally come up with something that, okay, this is going to work. So that's, I guess, just creating something that doesn't exist anywhere else.
Right.
So.
Yeah, they're unique flavors that you don't see normally.
And it is part scientist, part artist, part, intrepid person who is going to just try something. I mean, because in addition to, you make small batches of stuff, but, at the same time, you can't afford probably to just keep trying stuff that doesn't work because you do have to make stuff for people to enjoy. So there's a little sense of bravery involved in that as well, I think, because you're taking a chance. But it's got to be rewarding when you try something new. And
I will say that part gets easier. I mean, it's nerve-wracking at first, but once you've done it a couple of times, it gets a little easier. Same with writing big checks. It's nerve-wracking at first, but...
We keep thinking we're almost done writing those big checks, but then another one comes.
It gets nerve-wracking at first, and then all of a sudden, you're writing big checks, you're like, you don't even think about it. So you do get past that.
Yeah.
I wish I had gotten past it 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm sitting here thinking, like, what do I need to do?
You mentioned earlier, though, that things happened and kind of forced a lot of people to reevaluate their lives and kind of reassess priorities and your perspective. And it sounds like sometimes we need that push to give us an opportunity to actually take a chance and do something that sounds like you guys are doing something that you absolutely love, and you're creating a place where other people love to come. And that's a special, I think it's a gift that you give people when you do that,
That's actually my favorite part of having this place. He says the ultimate man cave, but it's actually the man cave where women are welcome, obviously, and children, and people bring families in here. But my favorite part is the people that we've met along the way. We have become like best friends and very, very good friends with people that come in here. After this podcast, we're actually going out to the wineries with some people that we met here. And that to me is really, really special. Like in my whole 50 years of life, I've never experienced friendships that I've made so quickly around here. Our club wall, for instance, we have 85 members, and most of those are our friends, have become our friends. So they started off as customers, like perhaps those people who came in said they were coming in for one drink, and now they're here every week. Yeah. Or once a month, or once every other month. Even those people that we don't see a lot, they're really good friends. So that's my favorite part of having this spot. I don't know if you've already mentioned it, but the Redneck Martini Bar.
No.
Redneck martini.
Yeah, we've attracted some nicknames from
Uh-huh.
people. One was a redneck martini bar.
I don't mind.
Yeah.
I don't
think
mind.
That's
it
fun.
sounded like it was meant as an insult that they overheard somewhere, but
Yeah.
I'm
I don't
not
think it
insulted.
was.
Embrace
No.
it, right?
I'm not insulted by it.
Yeah.
No.
No, it's I don't know, it just seems very authentic. Like you said, you've repurposed the wood. Like the wood on the floor is just spectacular. And,
It's not wood.
Yeah,
That-
the floor is concrete.
Stamped concrete.
concrete
Fooled ya.
on the floor is
Dave.
amazing. I'm telling you.
We fool people all the time because they're like, "Where'd you get this barn floor from?"
that's what
I'm
I
like,
thought it
"No."
was.
Never would have guessed that.
Yeah.
I got to get out more.
Everything else is wood, though.
Okay. Well, it's beautiful. Hopefully folks will get out here and check it out. We appreciate your having us out today to chat with us a little bit, and look forward to more things that you have in the, that you're going to be presenting in the future.
Look forward to having a cocktail.
Yeah. That was a given, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. We said we had research. I'm picking that spot right over there in
Smoked
the
old
corner.
fashioned.
I don't know. They made me
You're not
turn
going
off-
white tasty. We're staying here all day.
I don't think you had the smoked old fashioned yet.
They made me turn off the
or
ice
maker,
espresso
so-
martini.
I have had the
Yeah, you got to
espresso
turn
martini.
that ice maker back on. We'll have to do that. Well, thank you again for having us, and continued success. You guys are doing great work, and hopefully folks will get out here.
And thank you for your service as
Yeah,
well. Thank you.
absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, stay groovy. Talk to you soon.